We are at Kodak Hall Eastman Theater, and we want to personally and publicly thank this young lady right here for taking jazz further with her great record label, Motema Records. Jana Herzen. Jana, thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for the music that you've been providing for us for so many years.
Oh, it's my pleasure, truthfully, and thanks for all the support we've been getting from 90.1. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and as a musician, what I love about your record label, I mean, discovering people like Joey Alexander, Gregory Porter, revitalizing the career of Monty Alexander, time and time again, you just seem to have your pulse on what's going on. And it always has one core element, the performance, the live performances. And that's just for me with Motema, that the key thing is, as great as these records are, all these performers must be seen live. How are you able to do that?
It's really easy. I go see them live. I fall in love. I ask them if they might like to be on the label, or maybe they asked me, and then we put them out. So
it seems easy, but as you know in this world.
Well, I love live. I love great live performing, and also another thing that's key to people on Motema is that everybody who's on the label writes. Not everybody noticed that, but I don't put out an album of a singer doing a bunch of standards if they didn't have some connection, write at least one or two of them, or do something, because I care about people who have their own unique voice and their original thing that they need to get out.
Speaking with Jana Herzen here on Jazz 90.1. That said, what inspired you to create a label? Because you've been an artist and you still are creating things, but for you, what made you decide now's the time to document artistry that's going on around me?
You know, it's kind of interesting because truthfully, the reason I started the label was because I had my own record. I was trying to promote it, and I was talking to different people in the business about, how to best promote. Tried to get a record deal myself, and I got a little bite from Island, but then they told me they weren't putting out anything that year. And I didn't realize it. Now, looking back, I can see that the entire industry was crumbling at the moment that I stepped into it. And so maybe one of the big secrets for Motema is that I had no history in the music industry at all. So I just been looking at it and going, well, let's try this or let's try that. I have people working with me who might be working 30 years. And they have something. I said, well, let's try it this way, Let's do it. And one thing that's very, very important to me is to respect the artists. I mean, respect, I think, is the most important word and least used in the English language. Should be used more. And that part is super important to me. And I like an artist that respects their own inner voice above all. And if they do respect that, then I need to listen to that. In fact, what I often say to them, it says, you make the noise and we're the amplifier. So the more clear you make your noise and the more clear our amplifier is of amplifying, talking about who you are, what this music is, helping getting out to radio, to press and everything. That's our job, is to do that. But the more faithful, it's like a good amplifier, doesn't put any noise in between. You try and make it as pure as possible directly from the center of what they're creating.
And you're talking about someone who's really creating true amplified sound in a way that nobody's really doing it in 2016 and beyond. Jana, thank you so much for taking jazz further, and thank you so much for Motema Records.
And thank you for all the support up here in Rochester. I always feel the love, and I'm so glad to come to this city for my first time. Check out this festival.